Why?
Duh. What do you think? Okay. right? All right! Rude.
Um,
Sorry.
It's not fair.
Ugh.
You all right with that? Bye.
Huh?
That's enough. Let's go. So,
Absolutely.
Mm.
What? Ahem. Are you sure?
Hi.
Sorry.
Mm.
Yeah.
Bye.
That's a relief.
Good job.
can finish it. It's okay. I'm sorry.
Hi.
Uh, uh-huh.
No.
You're just saying that because you're a chicken. Jeez. Sorry. Yeah.
No!
Yeah.
I had my mic off the whole time. That's really awkward. I've been explaining everything and my mic was off. Oh no. Oh no, I'm sad now. And I just like realized it because I was like, oh, I wonder if I'm too loud. And then I was like, wait, did I turn my mic on? Oh no. I'm sitting here talking and it just looks like I'm not talking. Well, I guess it's clear that I'm talking because there's that, but like, wow, wow, I apologize. Oh, my jokes are gone. Anyways, that last option I did. Okay, wait. Oh my gosh. Okay, now I feel like I have to go back and explain a lot of things really fast. It's a good thing I have these save points. Hold up. Hold the phone. I am unsatisfied. Okay, I'll finish this and then I'll recap everything else if I can. Well, that's embarrassing. Not embarrassing, but it's disappointing. I'm really disappointed because, like, I've been really, really explaining who Ty was as a person, every option, and now it's not even like, if I were to rewatch this back, I wouldn't hear me saying, I guess it's canon now that hibiscuses are his favorite flower. Okay. Wow, I've explained a lot of okay, I will finish this scene and then I'll go back and not like play each scene, but I'll explain things that have happened. But let me open up the log real quick. So let's see. We're still on the Shiloh one, right? That we started off hanging out with Shiloh. Okay, let's see. So, yeah, let me recap real quick. It was just Shiloh and Lizzie. I was pleased because I think he would feel a little awkward, but also being the older one there, he's like, cool. I can be a responsible older person, and you know, it's a little bit flattering, I think, for him. That's why I ended up choosing pleased. I know I don't probably have to go through everything real quick, but I really feel like the need to. Yeah, ice cream sandwich is just kind of ice cream sandwich. It's a start. Because the other option for what the money was, it's not enough. But I think once he mentioned the ice cream sandwich and Shiloh being like, oh, that sounds good, I'm pulling on his money, Ty wouldn't want to like dampen the mood and would be like, okay, well now I got to try to get Shiloh an ice cream sandwich because now he's interested in it. They go down there. He tries to get something they would both want. But Shiloh was like, oh, I can't choose. And because I think Ty is not like a person who goes directly on his own wants all the time, especially if someone else is there and especially with someone else who has helped. Shiloh being younger than him was part of the reason why he was like, Shiloh was his same age, he probably was at, are you sure, instead of trying to get something they both wanted, like to be like, are you positive about that? But since he feels like he's the older person, he's like, okay, I have to be the responsible one. Running through this as fast as I can. He's gonna hesitate because he doesn't want to be forceful, because it was like Shiloh being like, oh, you can finish it. He doesn't want to be forced. He just didn't want to force it on Shiloh if he really doesn't want any. But he also like would feel bad because he's like, well, maybe Shiloh does want something, he doesn't say anything. And Shiloh's like, yeah, you can just have it. So then it was like weird because he's like, wow, Shiloh's not really like open. It's like he's scared of what he wants to do. So he asked if they were friends. Shiloh says they were. Bada bada bada. When they get back, Cove's in tears. And of course, he's not going to just accuse anyone of being in the wrong. Ty isn't. So that's why he asked what was going to happen. Because like 2 of the options were like kind of accusatory towards Lizzie. And I don't think Ty is accusatory towards people. He tries to get the whole situation first as much as he can. They didn't ding dong ditch. Lizzie was like, you guys should ding dong ditch. And they were like, no. And she's like, okay, you guys are chickens. And then the old man who'd made Cove cry in the first place was like, why y'all outside my house? Get out of here. So they went over to the hill. Shiloh is now back to being like, yep, Lizzie's number 1. Hibiscuses, I looked up all the pictures of flowers and what hibiscuses mean, which was like mystery, knowledge. One thing that said creativity, I don't know how legit that is, but I was looking at purple hibiscuses because purple's Ty's favorite color. But I was leaning towards hibiscus. I did also lean a little bit towards orchids, but I think hibiscus was the thing. I did comment that Ty would very much like to be pretty. like he would like that as a, he would definitely take that as a compliment for sure. Alpaca. I went over what my other characters might choose in that moment, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I almost went with this happy to do what everyone else wanted, but I think he would also like to go to sea. Okay, and then he would really choose that one. I think when he's older, he makes more jokes. But I did, like, for a second, like, side rail because I was like, I'm curious what they would say. Because I felt like Ty would say this one, even though Ty is supposed to be kind of a jokey character. I guess not in this situations, because sometimes you have to know what the jokes can be. And I don't think that joke would be that. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So now we're back, and I will continue reading. Oh man. Sorry for the quick side rail. I wanted to explain everything that happened. Okay, and then after this, I'll try to do a quicker summary of each one on the menu, and then we'll see if I go to another one, because I still have a bit of time, I think. Okay, carrying on. Apologies. I want to explain it more probably for myself in case I ever revisit it, because I feel like this is like character building as you play this game as one of your characters, so consider it sometime maybe. But yeah, let's carry forth. The silence broke with a splash as Lizzie kicked in your direction. Cold water and sodden sand splattered against your legs. Lizzie giggled, foot still outstretched from the kick. Cove joined in, striking the incoming waves to make a splash of his own. Shiloh scurried out of Cove's spray zone with a grin. I'm bad at reading. Hold up. So I suppose, yeah, okay. You made a run for it. You retaliated. Yeah, Ty's getting in there. You used your foot to smack the water pooling around you, sending an arc of sea foam flying back onto your sister. You laughed as she spluttered, some of the salty seawater having landed in her mouth. She spat it out. Yuck! Lizzie chased you, intent on revenge. Ty's always going to retaliate if it's like a playful situation. You dashed up and down the coast, taking it in turns to be the predator and the prey, as well as joining forces to take down Shiloh or Cove. Alliances were silently forged, wordlessly broken. Everything was fair game in war. Shiloh's breathed exclamation was drowned out by the biggest splash yet. Caused him falling face first onto the ground. That would have been bad enough without the wave that followed, cascading over his prone body. Shiloh sat up, shaking his head like a dog coming in from the rain, as you all hurried over to check on him. His hair was plastered to his head, and his soaked clothes clung. If there was any part of him that was still dry, you couldn't see it. That was crazy. Are you okay? Yeah, my foot got stuck and I fell over.
You dumbo.
Way to go, Shiloh. You offered him some help up. You let him get up by himself. I think Ty is more likely to offer someone help. This is who he is. Charlotte didn't take your outreached hand. After a moment, you dropped it. Lizzie was too busy snickering to notice and held her hand out to Shiloh, too. He reached over and took it, slowly starting to pull himself from the ground. Then he slipped on the slick sand, dragging him and Lizzie down just in time for another wave to hit. The water rolled over them.
Sorry.
What were the odds of that happening twice in a row? You thought they must be low. But there's no way Shiloh would do something like that on purpose and then pretend it was an accident, especially not to Lizzie. Even if your relationship with Shiloh felt unclear, he did at least like her a lot. Lizzie was his favorite, right? Smiling boldly, Lizzie extracted herself from the ground and wiped a streak of sand from her cheek. She didn't intend to let this embarrass her. Shiloh got up again as well, this time without incident. He still looked like a drowned puppy, but that didn't stop Cove from laughing at the two of them. With that, it was time to call it a day. The four of you made the journey back home, leaving a trail of wet footsteps and sand in your wake. Damp clothes may have weighed down some of the group, but your spirits were high. Your arms swung side to side as a cool breeze flowed past. Your moms were outside, chatting to Cove's dad. "We're back!" Your mom's faces fell as they took in the state you all were in, ranging from messy to soaked.
Now.
"Elizabeth, is that all you have to say for yourself? You brought half the beach back with you." They certainly did. What's Marigold going to do when she comes to get Shiloh? Is that how you want him to be for the long drive home? Cold and filthy? Is there a way to... Okay. Lizzie's expression turned sulky over the scolding. Being the oldest could be fun, but it also meant she was the first to get in trouble when something went wrong. Mr. Holden, on the other hand, chuckled as he ruffled Cove's matted hair. "You've been out making memories, bucko? I'm glad you had a good time with your friends." Cove used his slightly moist cast arm to push his dad off. Mr. Holden's eyes widened when he noticed that even that had gotten wet. Now he was worried too. "I think they could have found a less risky way to spend time and had just as much fun." "That might be right. Kids, what can you do? Come on, Cove, let's get you cleaned up and dried off. We wouldn't want that cast to have to be reset." Cove winced at the thought.
Okay.
"That a boy." Mr. Holden casually bent down and plucked Cove up off the ground, ultimately holding Cove against his chest. Sand was already transferring from Cove onto him, but that didn't seem to bother Mr. Holden. Cove protested being carried, but only got a reassuring pat on the back for his trouble.
Take care.
"Good night, Cove. Thank you for the talk, Cliff." "Night, Jones family, and Shiloh too." Resigned to his fate, Cove twisted his body in his dad's arms in order to turn around and wave a goodbye. Smiling, you waved back. "Good night."
Fine.
"Well, we better do what we can to fix you guys up too. Come on, everybody, inside. I want you to march straight to the downstairs bathroom."
Ugh.
"Yes, Mom." "Okay, Lizzie's mom. Don't worry about stopping to wipe your feet on the mat this time. That won't do much good tonight." Sitting on an old beach towel your mommy had found, you waited in the hall. Until you were less sandy, you weren't allowed to go to your room or walk around the house. But you did get to eat a sandwich for dinner there. It felt like an indoor picnic. It had been decided that Shiloh would wash first and borrow some of your clothes. He was already finished and packed away in his mom's car. Miss Fields had come to collect him a little while ago. It was a bit of a funny experience seeing him without a hat on for once. Lizzie, being much more soaked than you, got to go in the tub next. It wasn't a bubble bath as she had hoped. This was a no fun allowed cleanup session. At least that's what she claimed. Not much longer, it would be your turn. When the bath was done, you'd have to go right to bed. After a day like this, though, you were glad there weren't going to be any further events. Drifting off to sleep sounded like a great idea. Okay. Grown up. Right, that was when they played the thing. They played adults, and Cove and Lizzie got into a fight. And Ty did try to like keep peace. So the reason he told the truth is kind of because he can't keep the peace. So if you bring it up, you gotta you get asked by your parent what happened. You gotta, yeah. He did feel bad about it, and he did like try to focus on cheering her up afterwards. But I did want to like state that because it didn't get heard as I went over my thoughts during it. Yeah. All right, so that was much quicker because I don't have the log of everything that was said, so I just have to summarize it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I can do another moment. Yeah, it's fine. I don't have water, but that's okay. I don't know why my brain completely blanked and I was like, what are words? What is reading? That happens sometimes. Cove wasn't able to do many things that summer. That's not a word. Join is not a word in this sentence. When you, him, and Shiloh sat out on the shoreline one bright morning, you could tell he wanted to be in the water. But there was no way he'd be swimming anytime soon, not with his cast. The waves washed a single shell to shore, glittering and blue, another reminder of the places he couldn't go. From what Cove... Nope, sorry, my eyes jumped too much. I don't know why they do that. From what you'd heard about Cove's old life so far, in tiny pieces and fragments, you could tell that he'd do anything to be able to get the cast off. Like make a pact with a witch or something, just to get it off his arm. You thought about how his summer last year must have been totally different from this, with his old home and his mom and dad. But now he was here, with you and Shiloh and Lizzie and everyone else, and he couldn't even go in the sea. This town wasn't bad. It had all your favorite things in it. But sitting there on the same beach you'd grown up on, you could understand that not everybody else felt the same way about Sunset Bird as you. You watched him from the corner of your eye quietly as he finally said aloud what you had been pondering. I wish I could go in. The water? Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sorry. You're gonna be able to do it soon. Cove only sighed in response. Apparently, soon wasn't soon enough. It's so pretty. Oh, it's so pretty, the ocean. And huge. There could be anything out there, like mermaids. Yeah, actually, I think that's a funny statement, because I think in the intro, you get to have a statement about the beach or like the sea or something, and that was one of the ones. I think I clicked on that one for Ty, like you like to imagine that sea, like mermaids and stuff live out there. I wish you didn't have a cast. I don't really care. Swimming might be fun if we could. I'm fine here on land. Mermaids aren't real. Okay, well, he's not gonna say mermaids aren't real. I just said that he, Okay, we'll save here. Oh, another thing I mentioned while I was playing is that sometimes I do flip a coin if I need to, if I'm indecisive enough. I am trying to, okay, so right now I'm trying to figure out what is the most, cautious response. Cautious is probably like, yeah, because I think Ty wouldn't want to say anything that might further upset him. So, also, I've already said, Ty believes in mermaids, so that's not the answer. And then I'm fine here on land. Well, see, because it could be I have zero interest in going into the water, but it could also be, in Ty's case at least, if I were to choose that one, it would be being like, oh, well, it's fine to play here on land. You know, like oh, well, it's up here is cool too. Swimming might be fun if we could, you know, and then it keeps it like, oh yeah, it's fun. You know, if we could do it. He's not gonna say he doesn't really care. I shouldn't have a cast. Bills. Okay, so I think I'm leaning towards these two for Ty. Taking out this one only because I think Ty wouldn't say it. I just feel like he wouldn't say it because I think it's not okay. Indecision. Oh right, so when I mentioned the flipping the coin thing, I mentioned before, my mic was off, so I'm reiterating this, that the coin flip thing is that you have a coin, you flip it, but if you don't like the answer the coin gives you, like if you're very unsatisfied with it, then choose the other option, and that is how you do the coin flip. So if you're stuck between choices, go ahead and flip a coin, and if you don't like what the coin says, then you can I'm sorry, my brain completely blinked. I did flip a coin. It said this one, but I think I should click on this one. But I did save already, right? Yeah, I saved already, because I don't know. Because I don't want this one to be like, your idea sucks. Because, you know, it's also about how the tone is. Well, I was pretty proud in the last couple ones that when I chose one, it did kind of fit in the mindset that was after the choices kind of fit in. And I was like, okay, yeah, so I'm choosing right by Ty. But, okay, we'll try this one. But it's not like there's anything we can do about it. Obviously not interested in hearing much more of your input on the situation. Cove turned back to the water. Well, see, now I'm... this is me. This is why I saved, because... I guess I could have just rewinded. Hold up. I can just rewind. Alright. No. Me, I'm in the... Look. I was not... I gotta see where they go. Okay, are they always gonna end in that one? Let me see. So this one he won't say anything. This one he agrees. This one he's like, alright. See, sometimes you just need a little bit more context of how they come off before making a decision. Well, I know I just said, I don't know if you said that, but I did consider it beforehand. It was originally these three as my option, so I might switch it up and go to this one. Let me flip a coin. Let me see what the coin says. Wait, I gotta re-ask my question. I asked two questions. So sometimes tells us yes, sometimes tells us the bottom option. But I wasn't sure which question I should ask. So let me ask if I should go with the first choice. Should I go with the second choice? Coin says I should choose this one. Which is funny because initially the coin told me to choose this one. Anyways, I'm going to... is this one the third choice? No. Anyways, I'm gonna choose this one. I changed my mind. I'm choosing that one. As he looked away, something about Shiloh's slow, careful movements caught his eye. Hey, are you building a sandcastle? Sort of. I was only playing around while you were talking. I'm listening. Maybe I could too. I've only made big piles before. It's nothing really special. I'm sure you'll be good at it right away. Well, how do you do it then? Shiloh's cheeks lit up. You could tell he was a bit uncomfortable to have Cove's expectant stare on him. I'll play too. I love making sand stuff. I've never really made one before. There's nothing else to do. I think Tyza likes to make sand stuff. I can't remember what in the first one they walked along the beach and you get to ask like, oh, what you like to do. I think he said he likes to look at the fish, but I think I can see him also making sand stuff. Yeah, it's one of the typical beach activities, you know. I think
Okay.
yeah. Let's go. Let's make sand stuff. He put his hands back to his seashells and sand and nodded. I don't do a lot. Here's how I like to get a house started. Shiloh, focusing more intently than you'd ever seen him, guided Cove through his process. You happily used your own method. It didn't take long for the three of you to each have humble structures prepared. That's all, kind of. You can do anything now, like make it bigger, add some seashells, carve a pretty pattern. I bet you'll have great ideas.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it bigger. Mine's gonna be a real castle.
Cool.
And this is gonna be a house. Looking at the base of your sandcastle, you decided to make a house, a castle, a mansion. Well, yeah, he's making a castle and he's making a house. Ty might make a mansion in honor of his sister who's not here because she likes to. In their adult game, she was like, I live in a mansion. So a house, a castle, he's gonna do a mansion because it also is. Also, you know, you gotta sometimes just choose the one that's different. I try not to, I lean towards away from choosing ones that are the same as someone else's options. So we'll make a mansion. Looking at the base of your sandcastle, you decided to do what Lizzie would do and design a mansion. Didn't I just say in honor of his sister? Isn't that so great? The better part of the next hour was spent focusing on your own work. The boys were the same. Even Shiloh didn't sneak as many peeks at everyone else as he usually did. You finished shaping before either of them, glancing up from what you'd built. It seems you got done so fast because they'd already searched around for extra decorations. Shiloh had grabbed most of the really interesting stuff, and Cove had a lot of the shells. But there were still options. First thing you reached for was sea glass is pretty. Okay, red bottle cap, blue seashell, green piece of sea glass. I didn't know sea glass was going to be an option because my brain was like, oh, it'll probably be a seashell. But then I saw the options. You know, I saw seashell beforehand. So I was thinking like, oh, it'll probably be like a red flag, a seashell, something. Red bottle cap, green piece of sea glass. Yeah, we're gonna go with the green piece of sea glass. It was the best fit for your mansion, you decided. It was see-through and sparkly. So you put it in a funny place where it'd take a second look to see it. Pleased with your result, you took a proper look around that wasn't focused on the sand itself. Both Cove and Shiloh seemed super immersed still. You knew you could probably sneak a peek at either one's work. You checked out Cove's sandcastle, you checked out Shiloh's sand house. You decided not to look. Are they it didn't say that these were like secrets, right? Let me see. They can figure out so they're just like making stuff. They're not sneaking peeks and stuff, but like that's because they're just like really focused. Yeah, I think he's gonna walk around. He would walk around. I think he would, in theory, look at both of them, but I'm going to assume Cove is closer, so he's gonna. The castle Cove had built looked surprisingly tidy, especially for someone in a cast. He must have worked really hard. He wasn't even finished digging the huge, gaping moat in front, but it was already enormous. You got the sense from the enthusiasm he was digging with that the doctor was probably going to find a bunch of sand when he finally removed the pink plaster. The silence was then broken. What's on the top of yours, Shiloh? You peeked closer and discovered something sticking out of Shiloh's sandy chimney. Oh, it's just a gum wrapper. It looks like smoke.
Neat.
It's good. That's smart. Yeah, I didn't think of that. I guess I don't see it. You should be an architect. Kind of looks more like a worm. Ty's gonna say you didn't think of that. Yeah, cause Ty's not super like 100% flattery. You know, like that's like a, oh wow, that's like a big one. But like I think Ty's, yeah, I gotta do this one. You really know a lot about this. Shiloh smiled without a word. And that was that for the current topic. Ty, can I see what you did? Sure. He scooted a bit, edged just a bit nearer, and began surveying your work. All you really knew about mansions is that we're supposed to be big, so you'd gone really big. The size of the country club that Lizzie played golf at compared to Cove and Shiloh's buildings, probably even bigger. Shiloh quickly decided to jump in the new conversation. Hey, Tyrone, what did you do? That's my mansion. Cove scowled for a moment. Apparently, the anger was actually still there after his argument with Lizzie more than a week ago. It looks great. Your house is so big. It's not a big house. It's a mansion. I guess mansions are just really big houses. Thanks. You just looked at him. Didn't mean to upset Cove. Whoopsie doop. Okay, we'll go to the next page. This is not even like I'm unhappy with the other options. I have a saving problem. Okay, so he's one of these two. He's either gonna say thanks or be like, oh yeah, I guess they are just big houses. But he didn't mean to upset Cove at all. Like I said, I think Ty. Oh my gosh, why do I keep messing up his name? That's like new. I don't normally mess up his name. Like if I were to mess up his name, it should be more likely for me to accidentally call him Rye, because him and Ryan have similar nicknames. Ryan's one of my OCs who's in the same friend group, Rye and Ty. But anyway, mansions. I guess mansions are just really big houses. Cause I think Ty kind of notices emotions, so I think he's a little bit distracted. But okay, we'll try this one. Huh? Is being a house bad?
No.
But we each make our own place. No, but we each make our own place. Nobody is the same. I think we are. Cove raised an eyebrow at that. If something is the only one of that thing, that makes it special. Yeah, for sandcastles and stuff. People too. My dad always says how everybody is their own man, a real individual. I don't think I'm very special.
Why?
Nobody else is you. Shiloh simply shook his head. I'm not different. A beat passed between the two. Cove then looked down at his own work again. Okay. He didn't seem bothered by leaving the disagreement hanging there. Cove had other things on his mind. I'm curious. I didn't mean to say that it was bad. Wait. Oh, sometimes you gotta commit. I already saved. I can just check it out later. My dad tried to get me to make sandcastles the first time we came to this beach. I didn't want to. Cove trailed off. Again, there was another moment of silence. Shiloh shifted and opened his mouth to say something, but Cove spoke up before he could. You didn't think he noticed that Shiloh was going to talk. Hey, do you know what happened when your moms met my dad, Ty? You waited to see if Shiloh would say what he wanted to. When he didn't, you considered Cove's question. I wasn't there. They didn't tell me. I just remembered what happened when I met your dad. Mr. Holden had been a weird stranger then. Well, he was still kind of strange. No other parent acted like him. But you knew him better at this point. Now that he thought about it, it made a lot of sense that Cove's dad talked to him about people being unique. You were pulled from your thoughts when Cove continued. Oh. Well, I was there. I don't think my mom has met your dad. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she hasn't. Tyrone's parents and my dad met the same day I met him. I'm gonna say what happened. Shiloh frowned at himself, ducking his head. His hat cast a shadow over his face. You could still tell he was upset at not being included in Cove's choice of topic. That was kind of boring for him, though giving people their own turn to say things that they want is important too. Decisions. Okay. It's not like, see, I would want to give both of them the room to speak. I think Ty also, though, probably gravitates to side a little bit with the underdog or the person feeling the worst in the moment, if he can. So, but Cove's in the middle of a story. Cove's in the middle of a story, so it feels a little rude to be like, oh, Shiloh wants to say something. But, the coin flip says to choose the top option. But it just is also like, will we let Shiloh talk afterwards? Because the thing is that Ty tries to keep the peace. You know, so, I know, I just saved, didn't I? I did, I saved, okay. I'm going to flip the coin one more time. I know, it's supposed to be like, what would Ty do? But I think, in theory, Ty would let Cove finish his story and then be like, hey, Shiloh wanted to say something. But I'm not sure if that'll be an option to then point out that Shiloh wants to say something. But Cove's in the middle of a story. And that's the hard part, you know? Okay. The coin did say to let me flip the coin one more time. Coin, which option? Yeah, okay, the coin double said I should do this one. But like I said, I think in actuality, Ty would do both, which I know both, right now, both doesn't look like it as an option. But I don't think Ty would want to cut off someone's story. But I do think he would be like, hey, I think someone wants to talk. So it would be like, he'd let Cove finish his story and then be like, Shiloh wants to talk. But as of right now, I can't do both. But Cove is in the middle of the story, and my coin flip twice said to choose this option. Neither option feels right. I did save. I saved. I gotta relax. I saved. When you don't know what to do, when you feel stressed, you can just hit the save button. Shiloh could talk about stuff after Cove had a chance to share what he planned on. Yes, exactly. See, exactly. Awesome. Okay. I did it. When we moved here, we didn't bring a lot of things with us. Only some stuff that would fit in Dad's car. We didn't even get a moving truck. I sat in there while Dad brought it all inside. I didn't want to get out because I knew Dad would make me look around the new house. I really didn't want to do that. His lips twisted in a frown as he recalled that. Then I saw your moms. They were in a car too and stopped at your house. I guess they were coming back from somewhere or something. My dad noticed. He waved his hand, then went over to the front of your house where he started talking to them. I don't know what they said. I couldn't hear it. But he couldn't see me anymore since he was looking the other way. So I opened the car door and left. I wanted to get away and went behind the houses. I found those hills there, the ones where we met for the first time. Cove nodded and stared at you. You stared back. He didn't go on to say anything more. Aren't you going to finish your story? Cove's brow wrinkled like he didn't understand why you were surprised.
Huh?
That's all that happened. Okay. Why'd you want to tell me the story if nothing happened? You really gotta get better at telling stories. That was a pretty bad story. Thanks for telling me. Ty's a nice person. He's not gonna be like, oh, that sucked. Unless it's like a joke and that someone he knows that will definitely take it well. Like, he would say that to Ryan, but he wouldn't say that to Cove. Because Cove is actually kind of like Miles. And like, it'd be like later on when he would say that. So he's either going to be like, okay, or he's going to thank him for telling him. But I don't know if Ty has the full awareness to be like, oh, well, thanks. He might just be like, oh. What is it? What? You said that in a weird way. I don't think I did. Cove narrowed his eyes at you, suspicious. Shiloh's mouth twisted in a scowl of disbelief, but he said nothing. Why'd you bring that up anyway? There was a slight shrug of Cove's shoulder.
Well,
I was thinking about it because the sandcastle. It made me remember when I moved to here. Dad showed me the beach first before we went to the car to unpack. He's really excited about it for some reason. Cove's brows furrowed a little more as he quietly raked his hands in the sand. I get it. You thought maybe Mr. Holden wasn't that excited about the beach and was instead hoping Cove might be. The line of conversation heads in. Even Cove was done with it. Some other topic had popped into his head. Shiloh fidgeted uncomfortably in the sand. Had made Cove aware of his presence again. They looked at each other, and you could only wonder what this might be about. Hey, Shiloh. Yeah? Why are you always turning so red, even when nothing's happening? Clearly startled, he jerked back. Neither you or Shiloh had expected that to be how we got included in the conversation again. I don't know, I guess. Okay, it's kind of weird. Shiloh's eyes were wide with embarrassment, and his lips twitched, and he was blushing even harder than before. Maybe it wasn't only this. Perhaps it was simply the last straw, but it was a big deal to Shiloh, a huge deal. He didn't just look sad. He seemed almost panicked. You weren't sure if he was about to cry or run away or what, but you soon got an answer. Why do you wear glasses? Most kids don't wear glasses, and nobody is named Cove.
who asked you to come?
It was probably because just your dad bugging Tyrone's family some more because you don't have anyone else who'll ever play with you. Cove blinked. Dang, maybe I should have interrupted Cove's story. The tension on the beach was suddenly uncomfortable in a way you didn't know how to laugh off. It didn't seem like the kind of thing he'd get upset about, though you had never known what kind of thing would bother Shiloh. I'm sorry. Me too, I was just wondering. Hey, let's build another sandcastle. You tried to play on your own. Are we gonna build more? You nervously messed with the sand. Let's build another sandcastle. The day's gonna be over soon. Ty, you're right. The sun is going down so fast. You all went back to making sandcastles, but the whole mood had changed. Shiloh's cheeriness was clearly gone, and Cove looked as confused as ever about why the boy had blown up. Dang. Well, you kind of can't tell people that they're weird, Cove. It's not very friendly to tell people that they're weird. I guess I should have interrupted Cove's story. It feels like, oh, you don't want to Sorry. That was my thinking noises. Not quite thinking, but like, The air stayed uncomfortable the rest of the afternoon, right up to the moment that Shiloh's mom appeared at the beach to take him home. At least you tried to do something to resolve it, though it seemed At least you tried to do something to resolve it, though, and it seemed like it helped. Even though Shiloh's smile, when he said goodbye to Cove, wavered, it stayed as bright as ever for you. That had to count for something. But with Shiloh gone and the sun going down, you knew it was time for you and Cove to head back to your own houses. The two of you trailed out of the park together toward the neighborhood. The walk home was quiet. You passed familiar landmarks, shoes thumping against the sidewalk in the near-perfect unison. Cove was clearly caught up in thinking about something. Well, since I think because it doesn't seem, well, it doesn't say that he seemed too down, he might ask. Ty tends to try to let people be to themselves, but I think he might, if it's not like there's a lot of people around, and if he doesn't want to talk about it, he won't want to talk about it, but he might ask, I think. Something was definitely up, so you chose to reach out to ask. So you chose to reach out to him and ask, "Hey Cove, is everything okay? You're making a funny face."
Oh.
I was just wondering. Cove fell silent again for a few more seconds, then sighed. Why'd Shiloh act like that when I said he was all red a lot? You were being rude to him. He's just being a baby. You shouldn't make fun of him. I don't know, it's just Shiloh. He gets embarrassed. You shrugged at Cove with no answer to give. Okay, write and save. You know, when I get there's so many options. I play as a character because I can't make my own decision. No, I play as a character because choosing options stresses me out sometimes. But okay. Ty is going to try to be like, Ty likes to get to the problem if he can. I know that he would know that Cove didn't intend to be rude. Like, I don't know, like, he knows that it was kind of rude. So it's either, okay, I've narrowed it down to these three options. You're being rude to him, you shouldn't make fun of him, he gets embarrassed. Because, like, these two are very similar. This is, like I said, like, the blue is often direct. So, like, it's like you're directly saying, hey, that was pretty mean. And it is kind of rude to be like, why did that happen? You're weird. And then you shouldn't make fun of him. It sounds like scolding, which is why I'm hesitant on it, because it's like, it's the wording of it is less direct, which is in a way less direct. Like, you were being rude. That's super direct. This is like, oh, it's implying that you were being rude, but it's also like you are saying, hey, it's like scolding, you're telling the person, hey, you did the wrong thing, wrong of you, wrong, and then this one is like, oh, how he was feeling, but it also puts it more on Shiloh, which is the hesitance there. So, I'm trying to think what he might say. Because, like I said, it's like, this one's being direct. And, like, I think that Ty does try to, like, solve the problem. And he will pull people aside afterwards and be like, hey, that wasn't cool. But he doesn't have the greatest tact. But I think he would get to that point if the first initial, hey, you shouldn't do that, doesn't work. So I think I'm now leaning towards one of these two. But I feel like it's not like he was trying to make fun of him. I was like, the wording, it's like, which wording would Ty say is what it's down to now. Like, you shouldn't make fun of him, but that's like scolding. It's like, oh, but we know that wasn't Cove's like intention. So maybe just like you were being rude because like it was kind of rude but and this is why we save. This is why we hit the save button before options, to make us feel like we didn't have to commit so hard. And then we flip a coin to give us comfort, and the coin agrees with me, so we will be clicking on this one. No, I wasn't. It looked like that to me, and it wasn't just saying that one thing. You're not very nice to Shiloh. I didn't mean it like that. Shiloh was kind of weird to talk to. See, that's kind of rude. I guess I can get it. Why he would do that? Sometimes I get really mad too. Despite seemingly coming to a conclusion, Cove's mood was still sour. Hey, Ty, was Shiloh telling the truth? Huh? His gaze left yours as he dug the sole of his shoe into the ground. He looked oddly vulnerable for a second. Does my dad make you hang out with me? I know he talks to your moms about that a lot. An uncomfortable weight settled in your chest at the question. You liked spending time with Cove. You didn't even have to think hard about it. You knew you did. But you couldn't help feeling guilty. Cove didn't know what happened when you met Mr. Holden. Nobody's making me spend time with you. Your dad does do stuff so you'll hang out with my family, but Shiloh shouldn't have said that. You decided to tell him about how his dad offered you money. Ty's not going to do that. The thing about Ty is that Ty can keep things to himself if he thinks that it doesn't need to be brought up. Because, like, while he would feel a little bad about this, he also is, maybe it's because Ty's a little bit of a coward, but Ty is like in comfort mode, and Ty does genuinely like spending time with Cove. It's like funny, because not like the situation's funny, but it's funny because it's actually kind of similar to something that happens in my script, which it isn't like, hey, you want to hang out with my kid, here's some money, but it's something like the reasoning for Ty to start talking to Miles is a little bit of something that like he doesn't start off with, like, oh hey, this thing, and he does keep it a secret for a while, and then Miles only accidentally finds out for reasons, but I think I don't think Ty would be like, well, your dad did try to give me money to hang out with you, like, unless he was certain that it would be like, but I hang out with you because I hang out with you. So I don't think he's going to say that. Yeah, I know I saved, but I'll probably, like, if this was Leilani, she would probably say that. She would probably be upfront and honest about it. But I don't think Ty feels the need to disclose that, because even if he does feel a little guilty about how they met, like, he is confident that he likes to hang out with Cove, and he doesn't think it is that important. Like, not that it's not important, but like that it doesn't change things. You know, not that I think he knows that it would change things, but like, anyways, my point is, he's gonna say this. Ty's not gonna disclose that information. I know he did tell the truth when it came to their fighting, but again, that was because he was trying to keep the peace. That's the thing. Ty does things partially in mind of keeping the peace, but yeah, anyways, he's gonna say that. Cove's shoulders relaxed. You hadn't even noticed that he had tensed up. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Anyway, I didn't think you were pretending. I just want to make sure it was okay is all.
Thanks.
Thanks for telling me. Your throat tightened. It was hard to meet Cove's earnest gaze again. Keeping secrets was hard. You're welcome. By now, the two of you were on the sidewalk near your houses. It was time to part ways. You said goodbye. You hugged Cove goodbye. You nudged Cove's shoulder. Ty is kind of a huggy person. He's a nudgy person too. We're gonna give him a hug. I think Ty's a huggy person. Ty likes hugs. Ty at least will open his arms and wait for someone to give him a hug to see if they'll give him a hug. Ty likes hugs. Yeah. You stepped forward and wrapped your arms around him tight. You turned your head, resting your cheek on his shoulder. Cove stood there awkwardly, his hands at his side. But he wasn't much of a hugger, but you didn't get the impression he was unhappy that you were. Bye, Cove. See you tomorrow. Yeah. Bye, Ty. You pulled away, then jogged to your house. When you looked back, you saw Cove making his way back home too. As if he felt your eyes on him, he turned around. He waved. You did too. You still felt a little unsure what you were supposed to do about the deal Cove's dad had offered. You didn't want to say something bad or something you shouldn't. You had no idea how Cove would take it either. It would be terrible if it made him feel bad. What if he didn't want to play with you anymore? You might change your mind sometime. There was always tomorrow after all. But for now, it was definitely something that you'd keep to yourself. Yeah, because that's the other thing. It's like, it's a nervous thing because, like, while he didn't accept the thing, he think Cove would at least feel bad that his dad was like, I'll pay a kid to hang out with my son. Like, that's like, you don't want to hear that. With a final look, you went inside your house. Okay. I can do one more, because there is one more, but I did 3 just now, and I've been on for a while. I don't know how long the moments are. Like, there's one more moment. I probably won't be able to buy these ones, and then summer ends. Okay, so I'll probably do I'm indecisive. Thinking about wrapping it up because I have been on for a couple hours, but I don't fully know. I could probably do one more, but I don't have water. And that's what's really keeping me. I'm like, I didn't bring any water. But I think I can probably go one more. And then yeah, I'll do one more. Yeah, okay. I'll do one more. And what we'll do is and then next time I'm on, we will see if sorry, I was comparing times, because now would be an okay time to get off, but I think I can go a little longer. It's okay. Yeah, okay, so we'll do Fireflies, and then I'll end it, and the next time I can start step 2, and maybe I'll even be able to get the other DLCs. I probably won't hold my breath on that, but it'd be really cool too. Okay. Yeah, I'll just save here because I think it's fine to come back here with all these done. Yeah, alright, we'll do it. We'll do one more. We'll do one more. Yeah, I've already done.
Alright!
Oh, she was so ready. Alright, tonight we're going to catch fireflies. At this blunt declaration from your sister, you looked up from your macaroni and cheese dinner. Fireflies were a familiar sight over summer. coming out on warm nights to dance through the sky. Tonight was particularly balmy. You knew there were bound to be a ton of them around. Oh, are you? Yeah. You started eating faster. You looked over at your mom's. You pushed your food around your plate. Yeah. You rocked lightly from side to side. Is it raining again? It's raining again. This is the rainiest summer I've ever experienced. You rocked lightly from side to side in your seat, already excited for your after-dinner activity. Catching fireflies was a great way to spend a summer evening, and you could already envision the little lightning bugs drifting through the darkened sky. That's a good idea, Lizzie. Can we, Mrs. Jones? Shiloh tapped his fork against the table excitedly, his face lighting up as he looked at Lizzie. It was unusual for Shiloh to still be here. Like always, his mom had to bring him over really early in the morning before her job started. But normally, she would have picked him up by now. She called before dinner to let your moms know she'd be late. You didn't hear why. Probably more work things. You thought maybe getting to hang out with Shiloh for longer is what made Lizzie want to keep running around outside. Staying at home and watching TV was never an option for her with guests over. That's why you were pretty sure she'd get your moms to agree.
Well,
it's already so dark out there. Lizzie gave Mom the best puppy dog eyes she could, slowly spooning mac and cheese into her mouth while you waited there for their response.
There.
Let them go. Nights like this don't happen every day. Your parents exchanged a look, then Mom eventually sighed and nodded back. Yes! Along with Lizzie's cheers, you threw your arms up in triumph, but waited until you finished chewing to say anything, because you knew it was rude to talk with your mouth full.
Fine.
Fine. Just make sure you stay on the hill behind our house with all the poppies, okay?
duh.
Duh, Mom. That's where most of them are. The idea had only been planted in your head, but already you could just picture all the glowing lights spread out in front of you, like the fairies from the bedtime stories Mommy read sometimes. All too quickly, it became a race to see who could finish their food first. No choking at the dinner table now. That's right, if someone died, we'd have to cancel the firefly trip after all. Mom said it like a joke, but you knew that they were both telling you kids to slow down. Excuse me. Shiloh did immediately. When you glanced at Lizzie, you saw her still eating faster than she should. Elizabeth?
Jeez.
No one is gonna die. Sheesh. Am I too loud? No, I'm probably fine. Sorry. A knock on the door interrupted Mom before she could no doubt scold your sister. I'll get it. Your big sister jumped out of her seat and ran over to the door, pulling it open without even looking out the window to see who it was.
Huh?
You shifted in your seat to try to get a glimpse of the unexpected guest.
Hi.
Good evening, Cove. Sorry, excuse me. Your mommy had already walked to the door by the time you managed to see past Shiloh's flappy hat. Oh, Cove, hi, you're here. Cove smiled at your enthusiastic greeting, and you hoped Mommy would ask him to stay. It didn't matter why he was there. It meant he could join you all in catching fireflies. Then, for a few seconds, Cove said nothing. He only stood there and looked up at your mommy with a face almost like he was considering turning around and leaving. My dad told me to drop this off because I guess he borrowed it from you. Cove took a familiar screwdriver from out of his large side pocket, eyes now dropped to the floor. We left ours back home when we moved. Great, thanks. Great, thanks, bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, why don't you come inside for a bit? Lizzie crossed her arms and lifted her chin. Cove shrugged, and Mom stood from the table too. I'll give your dad a call to let him know you got here all right. Very responsible. Cove shuffled fully inside, eyes remaining on the ground. Mommy closed the door behind him.
Hi.
Hi, Cove. Shiloh gave Cove a friendly smile while waving by holding his hand and opening and closing his fingers. Cove nodded in response. Cove, are you going to catch fireflies with us? You could come outside with us if you want to. You weren't sure what to say now. You can come outside with us if you want to. Ty's like an offering type of person. Like, you wanna? If you want. Yeah. From the corner of your eye, you can see Lizzie glaring at you for mentioning the excursion to an outsider. Trying not to meet her gaze, you looked at Cove. Whatever Lizzie thought of him, he wasn't exactly a stranger anymore. We're gonna catch fireflies on the hill out back. You said that with a smile, hoping Cove would want to come.
Yeah.
I can do that. I've never caught one before. It's too bad he didn't have a chance before now. The fireflies weren't out when he first moved in, and there must not have been any where he used to live. We can't go until after dinner. After she pointed this out, Lizzie walked back to the table and took her seat. There wasn't much left on her plate. Since this was very true, you decided to finish up your own stuff as well. Cove stepped closer and eyed what was on the menu for your family's meal. Have you eaten? Yeah, my dad and I ate earlier. What did you have? Eggs. The clipped one-word answer seemed to discourage Shiloh from asking any more questions. His eyes slowly wandered back to the last scraps of food on his plate. Her call with Cove's dad must have ended because your mom came back into the room.
Okay.
Cove, your dad said you could stay for a little while if you'd like, but he's going to come get you before it gets too much later. Sure.
Fun.
Oh, fun. This will be so nice. As you polished off the meal, you hoped it would be too. The three of you all finished eating shortly after, and Lizzie led the way outside. Remember, don't stray too far. It's fine, Mom. Shiloh trailed so closely after Lizzie he was nearly stepping on her heels. Cove hesitated at the door. Coming? After a moment, he did.
Bye.
Bye, children. Wonder what's up with him. The two of you were a good 10 or 15 feet behind Lizzie and Shiloh by the time you walked outside. You pushed the door shut behind you, watching their figures get farther and farther away.
Hurry up!
You're slow, Ty. We don't have all night. You started to run when you heard Lizzie's voice calling you, but paused when you saw Cove still walking at a relaxed pace. Are you not gonna come? You tugged him along. You walked with him. You waved at him to hurry. You ran off. Ty meets people where they're at. At least he tries to. So I think he's going to just walk with Cove, because if Cove's already not running, he's probably not going to urge him to. Yeah. He's not going to run off without him, and it doesn't seem like Cove wants to run. I think Ty's going to assume that. And, because he hasn't started coming along yet. I mean, he could ask, are you not going to come? But he's probably just going to walk with him. Because Ty doesn't like to rush people. Well, not like rush people, but like push people out of their comfort spaces. Yeah. You fell behind, sidling up next to him and matching his stride. He noticed right away.
It's okay.
You can go ahead if you want. You smile and shake your head. I don't. After a short while, the two of you reached the hill behind the house. The fireflies were out in full force, floating on the breeze, their gentle glow winking in and out and creating an almost magical effect. Lizzie had already climbed to the top. Shiloh was spinning in circles somewhere around the middle.
Wow.
Fireflies are really pretty. I haven't seen that many fireflies, but like, yes, there's all these on the screen, like, whoa. But I've seen a few of them. They're really neat. I think I mentioned before, by the way. I mentioned it, but do you know fireflies are endangered? I think they were endangered. It was what it was. My siblings were talking about it because of the light pollution. They have a harder time mating because like the male fireflies aren't like as bright because of the light pollution. Well, at least that's one of the things going on. They're like bouncing all over the place. That's neat. Anyways, let's continue. I said wow. Shiloh took a moment to come over and welcome the both of you to the hill. Hi guys, it's really great out, huh? See how many there are? Yeah. A firefly danced through the air, landing on Cove's sea green head. Wait, it just landed on a firefly danced through the air, landing on. Yeah, okay. Shiloh couldn't help but giggle. You and Shiloh couldn't help but giggle. You quietly looked on. You shooed the bug away. I think Ty is just gonna, like laugh. It's like, it's a firefly. It's harmless. Covering your mouth with a hand, the sound escaped you, and Cove looked at you in confusion. What? You gestured to his head. He reached up, making the firefly dart away. Cove jumped, then followed after the glow. Oh, look, Lizzie has one. That's amazing. Shiloh ran to the highest point of the hill, making sure not to lose his hat or backpack along the way. You hummed as the group divided and conquered, shifting your gaze to the dozens of fireflies sailing around. The game was on. You had a bandage on your thumb and tried to be cautious of that. You had a bandage on your palm and tried to be cautious of that. You had 2 bandages on your hand and tried to be cautious of that. You were good at not getting cuts or scratches, so you weren't too worried about that. Okay, so you can decide how likely the character is to get like injured and stuff. Ty, I don't. No bandage on your thumb, bandage on your palm, 2 bandages on your hand, no bandages at all. I think Ty's not too gets injured or anything. Like, I know he has a scar, but that wasn't any cause of his. I think he usually like. Ty's usually pretty chill. I don't know how much he actually gets hurt. I think Ty's also kind of a little bit cautious about things. But he's more cautious about being neat sometimes. But, he's probably not. You're good at not getting cuts or scratches, so you weren't too worried about that. Yeah, I'm gonna say that he's probably not too worried about it. Spotting one close by, you approached with assassin-like stealth, crouching down to make yourself seem less of a threat. Slowly dragging one foot in front of the other, you crept up towards it, arms outstretched. You closed your hands around the little glowing orb, careful not to crush it. The firefly landed on your palm, almost docile, and you stared down at your hand in prized delight. Its tiny legs tickled your skin, and you giggled at the sensation. Cove kept up with his own target, but when he tried to grab it, his pink cast waved awkwardly through the air, foiling his efforts to clap his hands around the firefly. Cove watched it vanish into the air with a dissatisfied expression on his face. You encouraged him to try again. You told him about the firefly you had. You made a joke about what happened. You did your own things. When you come to an option, sometimes you just gotta hit that save button. Okay. Is he gonna be like, oh, look at this? Or is he gonna be like, oh, you got this? That's like what the difference is, right? Like, oh, you gotta try again. But like, it's like, telling him about the firefly, I think, cause Ty, let me try to think about it for a second. Like, if Ty, okay, so I have to think about it, like, for in my current story. I want to pretend for a second that Cove is Miles, because if Cove was Ryan, Ty would do this one. But Cove is not Ryan. Cove and Ryan are very, extremely, incredibly different. But Miles is a little bit more like Cove in several ways. It's like Cove is Miles if Miles' interest was the sea instead of the space, and if when his parents got divorced, he moved with the divorce with his parent, and then, but yeah. So I think Ty would tell him about the one he had. I think. Hey, want to see the one I got? Cove gave one more look in the direction before coming closer and peering at the insect still crawling across your arm. You held out your hand, and he leaned closer, eyes widening with a tad behind his glasses. Cove remained hypnotized by the little bug as he inched his hand closer to yours. Ultimately, he settled his fingers lightly over lightly over the ones you were holding open. It tingled. You stayed very still. You pulled your hand back. He's showing him the firefly. He's gonna stay still. I think Ty's decent at that. The last thing you wanted was to accidentally scare the shiny treasure off. Exactly. Hey, look, it's got the little bracelet. They asked earlier on what the kind of the bracelet was. It was a seesaw bracelet. But you can also set up in the character creation. It asks what kind of like stuff you wear. Bracelets. The firefly, noticing the new connection, crawled up onto Cove's hand. He quietly gasped. It worked. Yeah, you got one. Cove's lip turned into a slow smile, and his eyes shined brighter than the bug. Thanks, Ty. With a laugh, he gave the palm of your hand a friendly smack, performing an awkward low five. Startled by the extreme movement, the tiny light disappeared before you could even blink. Your firefly was gone.
Sorry.
You scolded him, you forgave him, you teared up. You forgave him. Ty's, yeah. That's okay. I couldn't keep it forever.
You're right.
Bugs have to stay outside. Let's get another. You decided to collect more. You decided to sit in the grass and watch. Well, he was prompted, so Ty's going to collect more. Leilani's more likely to be like, I'm tired. I like fireflies. I'm sit down. But we can work together. His face broke out into a wide grin. Look at a bunch. With renewed vigor, you ran out into the hill. You're not sure how much time passed while you were in the thick of it. All you could focus on was the adventure at hand. No critter was safe from your grasp. Oh, but like, since it was like an offer to do it together, Leilani would probably also worked with it, because like Leilani is like friendly to her friends. I guess it depends on where they are, but like also she's not like, nah, you know, it's Leilani's a whole different book. We'll worry about that later. At first you tried to keep a tally of how many you had caught, but once the number grew higher than 10, you had no more fingers left to count with. You were having the time of your life, racing up and down the hill with the crash of the ocean and the sound of everyone's laughter echoing in the background.
Ty!
This way! You followed the sound of Ko's voice to the top of the hill, watching as he stretched his arms in front of him, reaching with his fingers and only narrowly missing his target. Cove and you took turns trying to scare fireflies in the direction of the other. Okay, it's noon. Yeah. You showed him some techniques that you had learned, like how to cup your hands correctly, and he listened attentively before trying himself. There were a few times when you almost ran into each other, giggling as you dove to the side at the last moment. Luckily, disaster was avoided each time. It was an overall huge success, with the both of you catching multiple fireflies each. Eventually, the fireflies began to thin out and your energy started to lapse. You decided it was time to call off the hunt. Cove didn't complain. He breathed in heavily and his face seemed really flushed. That was fun, a lot of fun. You smiled at him broadly, happy that he enjoyed the activity. Yeah, it was.
Come on!
Ty, Cove, get up here. We're gonna have a race. The shouting caught you off guard. It had been quite a while since you heard from Lizzie or Shiloh. You glanced over to see them both standing on top of the hill again, Lizzie beckoning you with quick hand gestures. If she was like that, you knew there wasn't much room for disagreement. Up the incline you went. From the corner of your eye, you saw Cove was coming as well. He didn't care for Lizzie a lot, so you thought he might be intrigued just by the idea of having a race. Hi!
Cove!
Hi, Cove. You can't roll down the hill. You could hurt your arm again. You'll be the referee for the rest of us. As Lizzie pointed this out, Cove froze in place. Oh, it was that kind of race. He frowned down at his cast. That was the second time it got in the way tonight. What? Yeah, you'll watch and see who gets to the bottom first. That's important. Got it?
I guess.
The cast was sturdy. If he was careful, he could have done it. Lizzie might have just been looking for a reason to make someone else the referee, but it was already decided. The thing about Ty is that he kind of will be like, if Ty feels like it's not fair, which I think he might kind of feel like it's not fair, he might be like, well, hey, we can be referees together. Because that's just kind of the person Ty is. Like if someone was forced to sit on the side, Ty might be like, yeah, I also was gonna sit on the side, totally. This is kind of, because Ty cares so much. Yeah, I think he's going to stay with Cove.
Really?
Why? You don't have to. It's okay, I want to watch. Moved beside him at the top of the hill, even though Lizzie eyed you and made a face. That's not how races work. We only need one referee. Shrugging your shoulders, you refused to budge, and Lizzie let out a huff before throwing her hands in the air. Fine. I'll be the winner, whether you join or not. Lizzie moved to see, I'm curious about doing the race though. That's why I hit save. I don't know, cause like I could sort of see a line where he also does the race, but like Ty does. Okay. It's okay. I might look at it later. Lucy laid down, and Charlotte did the same. Cole stood slightly to the side to get a better vantage point, and you stood next to him. Countdown! Cole stood a little straighter. It seemed like he was taking his newfound referee duties seriously. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm curious. Wait, I'm going to save this because I'm just a little bit like, I didn't flip a coin this time. I know, I need to stay with what I choose, but I'm curious what'll happen. Like, satisfied with this, Lucy lay down. Charlotte did the same. Cove slowly stood to get a better vantage point. Seemed like he was taking his newfound referee duty seriously. Countdown. Okay, so it doesn't seem like there's that much difference. Okay, wait. This is me being indecisive again. I know. What comes down to it is what I said. I said that time. Because he doesn't feel like it. He did say he didn't have to. He didn't say that in that one. Okay, let's see. First save, second save. Heavily first save. Second save. But I realized that is first save this one or this one. Oh my gosh. It says second save. I think this is what I was thinking of as the second save. Sorry, I'm a little bit indecisive. Indecision gets to me, but like I don't. I'm just gonna take a quick look, okay, and then I might decide to go a different route at the end of it, only because I gotta see which one feels right. 3, 2, 1, go. The three of you took off, letting gravity do the work and rolling high at high speed towards the bottom. I don't know if Ty would want to roll down the hill, actually, now that I think about it. Squeeze your eyes shut and a delighted laugh leaving you, and consequently allowing a few blades of grass into your mouth. You sputtered right from the way. It threw off your balance and sent you careening sideways. Oof. Back! Everyone started too close together because the slight turn made you, then Shiloh, then Lizzie collide into a heap. You tumbled down the last few feet in a pile. Shiloh's elbow was in your stomach, and you were pretty sure Lizzie's hair was in your mouth, but you had survived. Perhaps it wouldn't have been safe for Cove after all. You could hear him laughing in the distance. When you opened your eyes, you saw the starry sky above, and Cove was still on top of the hill, staring down at the three of you with an amused look on his face. Cool crash. I think Shiloh was the first one at the bottom. That didn't count. We need a redo. Kids, it's time to come in. No! You sighed, not knowing if it was from contentment or exasperation, and closed your eyes again. Do I leave it? Do I leave it? Let me ask the coin. Do I leave it? Coin says no. I don't know how much longer the scene is. We're gonna put it right here because it goes there. I usually try to stick with one when I play. But like, as you can see, I'm very indecisive. I'm not sure. Like, it went well, but I'm just like, would Ty do it? Would Ty participate? Well, there's nothing wrong with participating, but would Ty have participated? My dilemma is, am I being true to Ty? And that's the hard part. Yeah. Okay, we'll continue with this for now, and then I'll see by the time I finish the scene how much longer the scene is, and then we'll see. It got late and was beginning to feel just a bit chilly as you made your way out of the hills, but the cold in the air hadn't dampened anyone's spirits. The four of you walked back home together, side by side, down your neighborhood street, discussing the evening, with each person trying to prove. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. That surprised me myself. With each person trying to prove that they were the one who caught the most fireflies. You knew that whoever really did catch the most didn't matter much anyway. All that mattered was that you all had I can read. All that matters is that you all had a good time, which, judging by the smiles on everyone's faces, you did. Well, I did switch it in part ways. Maybe I should commit to this. I should probably commit, right? Because also, like, if you do it too much, then it becomes obvious if you're always like, oh, hey. So it didn't seem like he was too upset about it. So I think it's probably fine. It's probably fine. Yeah, we'll say it's fine. I guess I'll leave it. I might go back and finish the scene on my own time. But for now, we'll leave it. We'll leave it. And then next time we will come and do the step 2. I'm sorry. I've actually, okay, so these ones I didn't actually see before. And like, I don't think I've seen like any of these before I played this time around. But I have seen a little bit of library and runaway. And I think barbecue. Because barbecue is the one at the park, right? And they have little ice creams. Yeah, so I know for a fact that I have seen a bit of these ones. I'm not sure which ones Ghost and Sleepover are. If something changes and I'm able to get these DLCs next time, I will. But I probably won't be able to at the moment. And I'll just have to play this game again some other time with the DLCs. But anyways, yeah, next time we will do Summer Ended. What I'll do is, because I want to be able to do the DLCs, I'll probably leave this here, and then I'll probably make my save file like over here. Well, that's kind of far out, but it feels right because 6, 12, 18. Yeah, that seems legit. That seems legit to me. So I'll just save it right now. Then we'll save here. We'll save here. And then next time I'll do step 2. I'll start step 2. Summer Ended. We'll see what that's like next time, which will be next Monday. It'll be next Monday. What will I do on Thursday? We'll find out on Thursday. No, I have a couple of games I could possibly try playing. I was thinking about playing a little to the left, but then that'd be like less reading and more just like I'd be talking while I solve puzzles, and I'd probably be talking about a lot of random stuff. But I do have a couple other like visual novels I can play. I got them from Itch, so I'll also have to see if I can line into Itch.io, and so I can pull up the pages so I can put the links to them on there. This I think is also on Itch.io, but I got it off of Steam. So like, if you can find Our Life on Steam, go play. It's fun. I enjoy the Our Life games. I mentioned earlier when my mic was off, so no one heard me, but I think that both games are really pretty. Like they're different styles. And I'm a little bit more I played the sequel game first, so I was really used to that style, and I'd seen someone say that they prefer this game style and they don't really like the style of the new game, so I was worried I was going to be the opposite and be like, oh, it's because I played the new one first and I won't like this game's appearance, even though I've seen some stuff of it, but like, I won't get the game, and I'm like, no, this game is really pretty. I like both games. I don't know how you could I know like you could have a preference, but I don't know how you could dislike either of them. They're so pretty. But yeah, so anyway, I don't think I have any gallery pictures yet. Oh, I do. I forgot these. Look. So wait, there's one more in step 1 that I didn't get. Because this is from a DLC, but this is from one of the ones. But I'm about to finish it. I see. Now there's another level of replayability, because now it's like, oh, but did you collect all the pictures? No, I missed one. Oh, well, he blinked. Do you see that? He blinks. Okay, but anyways, yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this game, and I'm really sad that I have decided I'm going with my commitment of I will play a game once a week every because I want to see how that works out. So I'll be back on the 25th for this game. If you're here for this game, I'll be back on the 25th. Whether or not I'll be able to play on September 1st is up in the air a little bit. If I do play, it might end up being later than usual, but you know, notifications will help know when I start streaming if I stream that day, because I'll know better. I'll know by like that day or Sunday if I'll be able to stream. So notifications to know that, because you know, I'll start part 2 next week. Within the week after that, I'll probably finish out the moments again. But it's like the question of when I'll be able to, because if I can't play on Monday, on September 1st Monday, maybe I'll know by Saturday and I'll change the 30th to be that, but maybe I'll just have to wait another week, and that'd be kind of a bummer, you know. But anyways, yeah, so we'll see what I do on Thursday. Like I said, I have a couple of games that I got from itch.io, but I have to re-log into my itch.io so I can, some of them so I can download them, but some of them so that I can just get the page, so I can put the page up in the chat so that people can, you know, go check out the creators of the games and everything. I probably should have found this game simply because I know it is on itch.io, but I got this game off of Steam. So consider going on to Steam and getting this game. I probably should have put that in the chat, which I should make some more messages better. I mean, none of my timer ones went off, so I'm still working on that. But yeah. So yeah, anyways, this game is fun. I enjoy it. Playing as a character is cool. Yeah. So thanks for stopping by. I apologize that the first like chunk of it my mic was off. I completely forgot to turn it on, because like, you know, my mic is off at the beginning, because you know, like when you're doing you got like a couple of things to like set up, so you just have your mic off, and then when you come back you're like, okay, let's get started. But I switched screens and everything, and I got distracted adjusting because I got confused by the thing being off, but it's because I didn't have the window full. So yeah, but anyways, next time I will definitely be sure to check my mic. I'll like put a little note somewhere so it's like, is mic on? But yeah, I don't know. I obviously like talking, because every time it's like time to sign off, all I just do is like da 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 da, chat, chatter. Yeah, so I'm gonna get off now, and thanks again. Oh right, my VODs for these games, my VODs are still posting. I haven't finished putting up them all yet, but the one for part 1 of this game should be up by Thursday. Like, I'll probably upload it on Wednesday, if not like sooner, but it should be up by Thursday. So like, shoot, how many will that be by then? So Thursday, and then this one would probably be up on my YouTube on next Monday, if I can count. This is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. So anyways, yeah. So if you're looking for my VODs because you missed something, they will be on my YouTube channel, which I would put in the chat, but I don't have it open right now. Be on my YouTube channel. I have a VODs playlist. All my VODs go there. I will make a playlist for this game specifically, but I do currently already have one for Now and Forever, because I already finished my Now and Forever demo playthrough. So yeah, whoops, didn't mean to do that. Talking to myself here. I was trying to get my YouTube link and I opened up the wrong thing. Just give me one moment and I'll just share the link to my VODs playlist really fast, because might as well. Okay, sorry about that. I'm getting my playlist. I saw some numbers and I was like curiouser and curiouser. But let me just share my VODs playlist. Again, It doesn't have this game's playthrough in it yet, but my Our Life playthrough is in there. And then the other games I played are also in there, which so far I've just played Pack the Sis's games. Find my, or check out my VODs. I don't know. Check out my VODs. Here. Boop. Boop. That sound still startles me. I will get used to it. I meant to adjust it a little bit, but I think maybe I should just let myself try to get used to it, because I mean, I'm sure that once I do, I'll jump less. But yes, thanks for thank you for coming by. I will actually get off this time. Yeah. Yep, I'll actually get off this time. I'm just gonna I like my emotes because I made them. They're my thing, so I was just gonna be like hugs and hearts. Hugs and hearts. Cause yeah, hugs, hearts, those are the emotes I use. But yeah, bye for now. Thank you. I waved, but you cannot see me wave. I waved, I put up the wave emote. But yeah, thanks again. I will again probably have this one up by next Monday, like on my YouTube channel, and then but the first part will be up before Thursday, most likely. Yeah. Alright, that's all for now. See you on Thursday if you stop by. Thanks. Bye.